Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys figure review. Now today we're going to be continuing our looks at older figures, this being another retro review, and today we're going to be taking a look at Whiplash from Iron Man 2. Now this is a figure that I've been wanting for ages. It's sort of a grail piece for me. It's one that's very hard to come by and one that I know a lot of people really do love. This is one hell of an awesome detailed figure. Now either way, I got this figure on eBay, so don't really ask me where I got this figure from. They're super hard to come by, but I do want to say a huge thank you to Les from MISB Media. She was the person who managed to hook me up with this figure because she went out and met the seller because for some reason he decided not to ship it. Either way, that's the backstory on this figure. Let me know if you are liking the continued looks at older figures, as I've got a few more planned in the future. Either way, what we're going to do now is get all of Whiplash's accessories out here and take a look at everything he comes with. Now, being a much older figure, Whiplash doesn't really come with a hell of a lot of stuff, but he comes with kind of what he needs to. I can't really imagine them sort of giving him anything else, so this kind of does work. Either way, taking a look at his display base, it is that nice old school display base. Mine unfortunately has a little bit of damage just because it is really old, but still it does a nice job. Iron Man 2, Whiplash, it's got all the right bells and whistles, so it does work just fine. And then when it comes down to his hands are painted really nicely. As you can see, they do have that tattoo detail on there, and that does extend around to the front as well. So really nicely done on the hands. And then he does come with, obviously, his whips. This is Whiplash, and they do have a really nice sort of electric lightning effect to it. Now, unfortunately, they aren't sort of all that posable. They're kind of fixed in this sort of, I don't even know what you say, like a draping sort of pose there, their little handles, and then they sort of just hang down by his sides, and you'll see that throughout the video. At the end of the video, I'll have him sort of on the turntable with his whips in hand, and you'll see what I mean. But they do a decent enough job of looking like his whips from the movie. So either way, I guess that's pretty much it for the accessories on Whiplash. What we're going to do now is get the figure himself out here and take a look at that head sculpt. And here we have Whiplash himself, Ivan Vanko, and he looks great. I mean, that head sculpt for the time is absolutely killer. It looks just like Mickey Rourke from Iron Man 2. I mean, they really did kill it with this head sculpt. Now, unfortunately, mine is showing its signs of age just a little bit. His head is really sort of floppy and wobbly on there, but still, it does sit on there just fine. It won't fall off unless you are messing around with it. But let's take a look, and let's take a minute, I should say, to appreciate all of the detail on the outfit itself. Look at all the sort of circuitry and sort of, I don't even know what you call that, sort of spine work and detailing and paint work. It looks really good. The mixed media with the sort of fabric leather pieces and the plastic. It's absolutely amazing in terms of the detail that Hot Toys was able to put in here. Now, if you haven't seen the video that Cosplay Chris did about the Whiplash sort of outfit that he put together, the costume, he went into a hell of a lot of detail in terms of how he made the suit and all the intricacies, and he experienced in the real world how difficult it is to make all this stuff work together. The fact that Hot Toys did that in 1/6 scale and executed it so flawlessly is absolutely a testament to the figure itself. I have to say, every time I look at this figure now, I think of that Cosplay Chris costume that he made because it was just that damn good. But either way, the figure itself looks absolutely amazing as well. You can also see all the tattoo work underneath, and I'm not sure if it's the age of the figure or just how it was made, but they do have like a nice sort of faded look to it. So they are looking like they are older tattoos, not sort of brand new fresh tattoos, which they look like in the film as well. You can even see, just notice the little cross that he has on his neck there, so they've even got that little detail down pat. Now he does also have his little belt there with all of the bells and whistles all over that. Now I am holding him on his display base because unfortunately, again, showing it signs of age, the ankles are really loose, but I will sort of zoom the camera down anyway to give you a look at the boots. You'll just have to look at the display base as well. Now panning down to the legs, as you can see, the detail looks really good, although there is one thing that I do need to touch on, and it's the fact that the jumpsuit just isn't accurate. It's not orange, and I think they had to do that for some sort of legal reason. I don't exactly know why that would be the case, but that's what was said. But it does a decent enough job of looking like Whiplash. When you look at this guy, there's no mistaking who it's supposed to be. It's definitely Mickey Rourke from Iron Man 2 as Whiplash. But the jumpsuit, I mean, it should have been orange. I don't know if any third-party companies put together a jumpsuit to put with your Whiplash figure, but I mean, this still, as I said, does the job well enough. Now, as you can see, the boots do have their tongues hanging out just like in the film. Unfortunately, you can't pull one off and show an exposed foot as he was being dragged away. Just like in the film, that would have been a crazy attention to detail, but they didn't actually do that. Now this piece here, I didn't notice in the film, but I guess it very well may have been here. But as you can see on both sides, he does have these little knee sort of armor pieces. I'm not exactly sure why they would be there, but I think Hot Toys had to do it in order to differentiate the design just a little bit from the actual jumpsuit itself. But as you can see, these flaps can move out of the way if you want to see more of the pants, and you can sort of situate them however you'd like. Either way, that's pretty much it for the outfit. What we're going to do now is get the Iron Man Mark V out here and do a bit of a side-by-side comparison. Now, I know I said I was going to bring out the Mark V, but when I went back to the shelf and I looked at the figures on display, I thought this would be a better side-by-side comparison. As you can see, here we have Tony Stark alongside the Mickey Rourke figure. Now, this body underneath this racing suit is 100% legitimate Iron Man, Tony Stark body from Hot Toys, and so too are the boots. So this is pretty much an accurate height comparison to how the actual Tony Stark figure would stack up itself. As you can see, I think Tony's a little bit too tall, unfortunately, and I don't know if that's down to the thickness of the boots that Hot Toys use, or just the body being a little bit too big. But either way, if you have him sort of bent down and Whiplash is approaching with his whips all ignited, I reckon this is going to work just fine. But for a sort of side-by-side shot on the shelf, at first glance, I think Tony is just a little tiny bit too tall. Moving on to the 3 cool and 3 annoying things about the Whiplash Mark 1. The first thing is, these boots really don't afford really any ankle pivot at all, and this figure is a little bit tricky to get standing with the super long whips, so I would have appreciated just a little bit more movement. They could have split that open just a little bit further, and we would have had a little bit more range of motion. The second annoying thing is the little knee joints here. As you can see, they are very visible, and they aren't detailed or really painted at all. I would have appreciated some skin texture on there, just so it matches with the rest of the body. The third annoying thing is the color of this outfit down here. I mean, all of these flaps are supposed to be orange because the orange racing suit that he was wearing was in the film. First cool thing about this Whiplash Mark 1 figure has to be that likeness. It is absolutely killer. Hot Toys nailed it with the Mickey Rourke. I mean, this looks just like him, and that's why obviously we love our Hot Toys figures, because the detail that they put into the head sculpt right down to that little scar right there is absolutely second to none. The second cool thing is all of the intricate details throughout the entire figure. This armature is an absolute beast in order to get right. From Cosplay Chris's video, you can see how difficult it was to get all these straps and little pieces just right, and they did it in 1/6 scale, and they absolutely nailed it. The third cool thing has to be these whips. Now, they aren't articulated, which could technically be an annoying thing, but they are still here, and they are really, really nicely detailed, and they do have these lightning effects already attached, which you can remove if you want to, but I love the fact that they do look just like they did in the movie. Just wrapping up on this Hot Toys Iron Man 2 Mark 1 Whiplash figure, I have to say, there was a reason why this guy was a grail of mine, and I say that in inverted commas, but, I mean, this guy is just that damn good. He is, in terms of detail, in terms of sculpt, in terms of paintwork, he is absolutely marvelous. Now, there is one thing that I know is a bit of a bugbear when it comes to this figure, and that's the fact that the actual outfit part of the figure itself isn't all that accurate. It's supposed to be orange, whereas here it's more brown. Apparently that was due to some sort of licensing constraint, and that's why they also added the actual knee armor as well. But of course, I can't really confirm or deny the truth of that, but still, that apparently is the reason why the outfit isn't as accurate as it should be. There's a few embellishments that aren't quite as accurate to the film as it's supposed to be, but still, when you look at this guy, you think Whiplash Mark 1. There's no two ways about it. This is Mickey Rourke as the character from Iron Man 2, and that is the main reason why I love this figure so very much. The detail is absolutely outstanding. Now, I want to say a huge thank you once again to Les from MISB Media. She was the one who went out in person, and she drove about an hour out of her way to pick up this guy for me and send him my way, because the seller, for whatever reason, decided that he wasn't going to be shipping him, even though I offered to pay for shipping. But either way, a huge thank you goes out to Leslie for doing that for me. That is absolutely awesome. Check out some of Leslie's news videos over on MISB Media, and the link for that is down in the description below. Also, check out 6 Scale Network, the awesome Facebook group where you can come along, chat figures, share photos of your collection, and also engage in a bunch of group-exclusive giveaways, and there is one coming up very, very soon. The most recent one was for a Neon Tech 2.0 Iron Man Mark 6. Either way, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video.